Hey, wrestling fans, trying this once again, and hopefully it will have sound this time. Just a little while ago, I tried the live stream right here on YouTube, and then I noticed that I did not have any sound on the stream. So hopefully now, this second try, there will be sound, I hope. And so, gonna try this again. Hopefully, this time it will work. Everything will go good. So, can try it again. And let's see. Like I said, hopefully everything is working okay. Hopefully, there will be sound for this stream this time. And let's start off and discussing a little bit about last night, the New Japan Pro Wrestling G1 Special Night 2. And was taped last Saturday or last Sunday night, and it was aired on Access TV last night. It wasn't live like night one was, so that's why, like I said on 360 Wrestling Fanatic the other day, the episode of that I did, and I said I didn't want to recap the second show, night two, until the second one aired on Access. And once again, it was a very good show. But like I said, in case there was anybody that wasn't able to watch, wasn't going to watch it until it was on Access, so I waited. And right now, I'm going to recap it real quick. Another great show from New Japan Pro Wrestling. And it kicks off, of course, once again on commentary, Jim Ross and Josh Barnett. And it is six-man tag team action with the Japanese legend Jushin Thunder Liger, the Ring of Honor TV champion and IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion Kushida, and David Finlay taking on Yoshitatsu and the Tempura Boys. The finish for this one sees David Finlay make Yoshitatsu tap out with the stretch muffler at 8 minutes 58 seconds. Good opener. There was solid action in this one. And I thought it was a good way to kick off the show. Sorry. And next up, we have the first match of the semifinals in the tournament to crown the first ever IWGP United States champion. And it is Kenny Omega taking on Jay Lethal. Good match here to start off the tournament for the night. Omega picks up the win at 13 minutes 1 second to advance in the finals. And next up, we have Zack Sabre Jr. taking on Ishii. Ishii picks up the win to advance at 11 minutes 42 seconds. And good match here. there really wasn't a bad match on the show at all. And next up, we have Dragon Lee, Volador Jr., Jay White, Juice Robinson, and Tintan taking on Los Incarnables, the team of Takahashi, Evil, Naito, and Bushi. And this one, Jay White, picks up the win by pinning Bushi at 12 minutes 28 seconds. Once again, another pretty good match here with some solid action. And next up, we have the Bullet Club, the Gorillas of Destiny, and Hangman Page taking on the IWGP Tag Team Champions War Machine, Ray, Rowe, and Hanson, and Michael Elgin, Big Mike, and Hangman Page gets the win for his team by pinning one half of the IWGP Tag Team Champions, Raymond Rowe, at 11 minutes 18 seconds. Next up on the G1 special, the IWGP Junior Tag Team Championships are on the line. Roppongi Vice challenging the Young Bucks, and the Bucks retain at 23 minutes 10 seconds. Another fantastic match between these two great tag teams. Of course, Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson retain. And another match involving the Bullet Club is Marty Scurll, Yujiro, Bad Luck Fale, and Cody taking on Team ROH and Team Chaos, the Briscoes, Will Ospreay, and the IWGP Heavyweight Champion Kazuchika Okada. Bullet Club, though, gets the win. Cody gets the pin at 16 minutes 27 seconds. Very good match between these two teams. Next up, the IWGP Intercontinental Championship is on the line as Hiroshi Tanahashi defends against Billy Gunn. And I have to admit that this match right here surprised me. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I wouldn't say I thought it was going to be a terrible match or anything like that, but I wasn't really expecting a whole lot from it. But it turned out to be a very good match. Tanahashi, of course, great wrestler, but I was surprised by Billy Gunn, and not to any disrespect towards him, but he actually in that match was better than I thought he would be. Very good match. Of course, Tanahashi retains the championship in this one. And next up, the main event of the evening, the finals of the tournament to crown the first ever IWGP United States champion, Kenny Omega taking on Ishii in the finals. Great match, just like night one. Great main event. And it is Kenny Omega making history by becoming the first ever IWGP United States champion. And that was the G1 Specials Night 2. And as I mentioned earlier on 360 Wrestling Fanatic the other day, I believe it was on Tuesday, where I recapped Night 1 and Impact Slammiversary. You can find that on the 360 Wrestling Fanatic or 360 Wrestling Podcast Facebook page and the Facebook group. You can find the link to that episode. Two great shows from New Japan Pro Wrestling. And from top to bottom, not a bad match on the show. And let's move on to a little bit more. Last night there was breaking news, broke out a Raw house show live from Madison Square Garden, and we have a new United States champion. AJ Styles defeated Kevin Owens to win the United States Championship, New York at Madison Square Garden. Of course, as you know, it's not too often, it's pretty rare actually, where there's a title change on a house show. But last night, Styles became the new United States champion. I'm sure they'll have a rematch soon. Battleground, the next SmackDown Live pay-per-view. It might happen then. And speaking of pay-per-view, Great Balls of Fire tomorrow night on pay-per-view, the main or WWE Network special, whatever you want to call it these days. And also, it was also some other news that broke out last night that Dixie Carter will be appearing this Monday night on the WWE Network following Monday Night Raw on the Kurt Angle 24 special. And Dixie Carter, the former TNA president, and I'm sure most people, I am probably surprised by it. And so it'll be interesting to see that 24 special Kurt Angle, Dixie Carter, first time ever on the WWE Network. And get back to the Great Balls of Fire pay per view tomorrow night on the network. In the main event, you got Brock Lesnar defending the Universal Championship against Samoa Joe. That's the main event. And another interesting match on that show, 30-minute Iron Man match for the tag team championships. You have Cesaro and Sheamus defending against the Hardys. Should be a good match. Interesting to see. And speaking of the Hardys, on the right here on the 360 Wrestling Podcast YouTube, did the opening of the Don West Insane T-shirt brown bag. Got one of the Broken Hardys T-shirt. It was the Total Nonstop Deletion one, actually. That's a pretty good shirt. It's got some other pretty good ones in there. If you haven't seen it, check that video out right here on the 360 Wrestling Podcast YouTube. Also, the Raw Women's Championship is on the line tomorrow night. Alexa Bliss defending against Sasha Banks. Hopefully will be a good show tomorrow night. Great Balls of Fire, the first ever one. And that's all for this stream. Hopefully this one went better than the first one that I tried earlier. Hopefully you can hear this. Hopefully there is sound. And hope to be back soon. If this goes okay, I'll do more live streams like this. And I hope to recap Great Balls of Fire probably Monday. I don't know if it'll be a podcast or a YouTube video or a live stream like this. I don't know yet, but stay tuned for that. Facebook 360 Wrestling Podcast, like the page, and the group 360 Wrestling Podcast on Facebook, and Twitter at 360 Wrestling Pod. Also on Facebook, you can like the podcast that is all about the collective league of adrenaline, strength, and honor, Clash Wrestling 360. Check out the page for links for the Grapple Ganza pre-show with Devin Shaw in the last episode of Clash 360 with the Caveman Elk, and also Instagram 360 Wrestling Podcast. But that is all for this test stream, second test stream. Hopefully this one went okay. Hopefully you can hear it, see it. Hopefully it went okay. And if it went okay this time, I'll hopefully try to do more. And just stay tuned. But until then, I am Lance, and I am a wrestling fanatic.